Hello everyone, welcome to another learning time with Miss Blessing. In today's video, we're going to be learning to add and subtract fractions. Come along, let's learn together. First, we're going to learn how to add two or more fractions with the same denominator. Remember, our denominator is the number below, while our numerators are the numbers above. So the instruction here says use the bar model to complete the calculation. So I have two bar models here, and each of it has been split into fourths. Do you know why it has been split into fourths? Yes, I bet you do. Because our denominator is 4. So each has been split into fourths. Now, one is 2/4 and the other is 5/4. So we need to shade in our bar models to represent 2/4 and 5/4. Here we go. So we have 2/4. Now we need 5/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we add it all together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7/4. I know someone would say, why didn't I start 5/4 on the next bar model? Remember, we are adding, so we don't need to leave any space in the bar models, and it is always advisable to use different colors when representing your answers using a bar model. So we have 2 and then 5. We count on from the next bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when we add it together, we'll have 7/4. Okay, let's move on. Next says draw and color your own bar model to solve the calculation. We have 1/7 plus 4/7. The trick to adding fractions with the same denominator is easy. All you need to do is add the numerator and leave the denominator alone. So 1 plus 4 is 5, and then we just add the 7. But when we are asked to use bar model, please do not leave out any space when shading in using two different colors. So first we need to show 1 and then we need to show 4. Make sure you don't leave out any space. So here we go. 1. Now let's show 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, I didn't leave out any space. I continued from the next bar immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I add it all together, it gives me 5/7. So 1/7 plus 4/7 is 5/7. Remember the rule. As long as the denominators are the same, do not add the denominator. You only add the numerator. This is the trick to when adding fractions of the same denominator. Now here is one for you to have a go. I want you to pause the video and have a go. Write the calculation to match this fraction model and calculate the answer. Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. How did you get on? Okay, let's see if your answers are correct. From what I can see here on the bar model, I have 3 different colors: blue, yellow, and pink. And this means I should have 3 different fractions. But what will our denominator be? I can see that the bar model had been divided into 4 and then 4. So I know my denominator would be 4. And my first fraction will be 1/4. How did I know? Because I have one color of blue. My second fraction would be 3/4. I have 3 color of yellow. And then 2/4 because I have 2 pink colors. Let's see the representation of this. So I have 1/4 plus 3/4 plus 2/4, and when I put all of these together, I have 6/4, or 1/2 and 2/4. How did I get 1/2 and 2/4? I know that 4 can go into 6, or 6 can divide 4 1 times, remainder 2. So that is how I got 1/2 and 2/4. So be careful when you have a bar model representation. First, what number has it been divided into? This has been divided into 4, 4. So I know my denominator is 4. And then I need to look out on the colors, what colors were used and how many does each color represent. This way I can know how many fractions I have. And always remember, if the denominators are the same, do not add the denominator, you add only the numerators. Okay, now finally let's look at how to use a number line to calculate or add 2 or more fractions. Over here we've been asked to use the number line to help solve this calculation. So I have 5/3 plus 5/3. I know 5 plus 5 is 10, so my answer is 10/3. But the instruction says use the number line. Remember to follow the instructions, okay? Someone would just quickly write 10/3 and then just quickly go and submit the book. Yes, I'm done. But you've not done anything on the number line. So how do we use a number line to calculate or add 2 or more fractions? First, I need to locate the first fraction on the number line. And here we go. We have 5/3 right here. So I'm going to circle that on the number line. This is 5/3. Now I need to add what? I need to add 5/3 more, and that is 5, which is my numerator. So I'm going to make 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that stops at 10/3. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we are adding the numerator, not the denominator. Please do not forget this. So, and we end up at 10/3, which is the same thing we got when we simply added, thinking critically with our with our addition sentences, which we have already here. So 10/3 is equal to 3 wholes and 1/3. How did we get 3 wholes and 1/3? 10 can divide 3 times and remainder 1. I hope you understood how to use a number line. First, identify the first fraction. Then, what is the numerator on the second fraction? Make that jumps. There are 5 here, so I made 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because your teacher would like to see how you made your jumps on the number line. So that way you get to your final answer. I hope this is clear. Now let's go into subtracting 2 fractions. We have learned how to add fractions of the same denominator. Now let's look at fractions, subtracting fractions of the same denominator. So we've been asked to use the bar model to subtract the fractions by taking away. And then our denominator here is 9. So our bar model has been divided into 9. Now, unlike the addition where you have to count on, here we are taking away, we are subtracting. So we only need to shade the first fraction, the numerator of the first fraction, which is the greater number, and that is why we have 6 shaded. Now the next thing we need to do, because we are taking away, is to cross out 4, the second numerator. And just like in when we added 2 or more fractions of the same denominator, when we are subtracting, we also did not subtract the denominator, we only subtract the numerators, and we cancel out to show our take away. So let's see how this works. So 6 minus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our answer is what? How many do we have left? 1, 2. So we have 2 9s left. Now the second one says fill in the empty boxes for the calculation shown by the bar model. So first I need to find my denominator. How many has the bar model been divided into? How many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I know my denominator is definitely going to be 9. Now, how many in total was shaded in the first place? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 was shaded. So I know my first fraction would be 7 9s. Now, how many was crossed out? 1, 2. So my second fraction will be 2 9s. And when I take away 2 from 7, I'm definitely going to have 5 left over. Let's see how this this is represented. So I have 7 nines and 2 nines, and when I subtract 2 nines from 7 nines, I have 5 nines. So first, when you have the bar model and you have to figure out the fractions, first of all, calculate your denominator. Count up all the number of the bars, then count up all the numbers that are shaded, which is your first fraction, then count up the numbers that are cancelled out, that is your second fraction, and then you find out what is left after the 2 has been cancelled out, that is 5. I hope this is clear. So this is one for you to have a go. Use the bar model to subtract the fractions by finding the difference. This is another way we can calculate subtracting fractions of the same denominator. Now, instead of having just one bar model and then we cancel out, rather we have 2 bar models of the same denominator. Color in the first fraction. This is 8/10. This is 3/10. Now, what is left after we colored in the 3/10? We use an arrow to show this. This will show us our difference. Here we go. So the first bar model shows me 8/10. The second one shows me 3/10. But I can see that the difference between the 8/10 and the 3/10 is this colored, empty colored bars. And when I count it, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is another way we can calculate our subtraction of fractions. Now I want you to have a go on the second one. Color the bar model to carry out the calculation. Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. How did you get on? So first we need to color 7 up here and then 5 up here, and then see the remaining empty portions that we are not colored. Let's see how this looks like. So this is 7 and this is 5. Now as you can see, we have 2 uncolored boxes left here, so our answer would be 2 nines. Always remember, if it is the same denominator, do not subtract or add the denominator. You only work with the numerator. The denominator remains the same, remains constant. Okay, here is another one for you to have a go. Here we are going to subtract from whole amounts, and we are asked to use the bar model to calculate the answer to the problem. So pause the video and have a go. Then I would explain it and see how you were able to think critically to solve the problem. Welcome back. How did you get on? So we have 3 wholes of quarters. How do I know they are quarters? Because they've been divided into 4, and my fraction here shows me that the denominator is 4. So I have 3 wholes, and then I'm supposed to take away 3/4 from these 3 wholes. All I need to do is cancel out the 3, which is the numerator up here, and when I do that, I will be left with 1, 2, 3. I'll be left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll be left with 9/4, and 9/4 is the same as 2 whole and 1/4. Now draw your own bar model and use it to calculate the answer. Here we've been given 3 bar models. Why? Because we have 3 wholes. Now, how many squares do we need to have in each bars? We need to have 3, because the denominator we have here is 3, and we need to take away 1/3. We need to cancel out 1, which is the numerator here. So I'm dividing this into 3, and then I'm canceling out 1, so I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm left with 8/3. I hope this is clear. Well done if you got those correctly. And then finally, for this lesson, let's look at calculating the fractions of a quantity. This has to do with multiplication and division. And like I always tell you, revise your times table daily. This way, you'll be very good at your multiplication and division problems, because multiplication is the inverse of division and division is the inverse of multiplication. Okay, Ahmed has 20 biscuits. Find the following fractions of his biscuits. So the first one is half of 20. So what do we do when we have a problem like this? Half of 20. First, you need to divide 20 by 2 and then you multiply your answer by 1. I know that 20 divided by 2 is 10 because I know that 10 multiplied 2 is 20 and 10 multiplied 1 is 10. So my answer here would be 10. The next says half quarter of 20. So first again I need to divide 20. I need to divide 20 by 4. And then 4 goes into 20 how many times? 5 times. 5 times 1 is 5. So my answer here is 5. Now I have 1/5 of 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4 because 4 times 5 is 20. And then 4 times 1 is 4. So my answer here is 4. And then the final one says 1/10 of 20. 20 divided by 10 is 2. And then 2 times 1 is 2. So my answer here is 2. Now here is another one. It says calculate fractions of a quantity. Now instead of having 1 as the numerator on each of these problems, we have more than 1. We have more than 1. And we call this non-unit fractions. When the numerator is greater than 1, they are non-unit fractions. So we need to find 2/2 of 20, 3/4 of 20, 4/5 of 20, and 6/10 of 20. So how do we do this? Just like in the first one, first you need to divide. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Now you need to multiply this 10 with the numerator. 10 times 2 is 20. So our answer here is still 20. Next one, 3/4 of 20. First divide. 20 divided by 4 is 5 because 5 times 4 is 20. Now, after you've divided and gotten your answer, multiply the answer with the numerator. 5 times 3 is 15. Now, can you have a go at the other two? Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. How did you get on? Now, let's see how you were able to represent your answers if you got them correctly. So, the first one is 20, the second is 15, the third is going to be 20 divided by 5 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, 20 divided by 10 is 2, 2 times 6 is 12. So always remember, when you have fractions like this, first you need to divide and then multiply. First you need to divide and then multiply. These were just steps, simple steps to help us understand this. I know that half of 20 is 10, so 10 times 2 is 20. I know that 1/4 of 20 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. I hope this is clear, everyone. So finally, this is the last one for you to have a go before we go today. It says complete the calculations. What number is missing here? What number is missing here? Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. How did you get on? Remember, like I explained earlier on, when we have fraction of this problems of this kind of fractions, all we need to do is divide first and then multiply. So 33 divided by 3, I know is 11, because based on my times table, 11 times 3 is 33. So 33 divided by 3 is 11. So what number do I multiply by 11 to give me 22? I know that is what? 2. because 2 times 11 is 22. Now let's move to the next one. Something is missing here. When I divide that thing by 9, it's going to give me an answer that if I multiply it by 5, I would get 20. What could that number be? Did you think of 36? Well done if you did. Why? Because 36 divided by 9 gives me 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. I bet you are confident with today's lesson and you have learned a lot. Please revise the video for more understanding, because the more you practice, the more you get good at a thing. So this is me saying bye for now. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more videos. Bye.